And in our story, we're going to have two huge mountains that just have a very narrow pass to go through, okay? So remember that. Let's look at this name. Can you say Leonidas?
Leonidas.
And these are the soldiers from Greece. What are they called, class?
Spartans.
Spartans. Yeah, Spartans. And we're going to talk about a lot of army lingo. Who is this man that often leads the army? Mary, what would this be, Mary? The general, good, look at you. Okay, boys and girls, if you belong to a country and you are not loyal to that country, and you go to another country and tell all of its secrets, and you're like a spy, and you do bad things to hurt your country, this is what you're called. It's a very ugly word. It's a Traitor. What do you call that? Luke? A traitor, right. A traitor to the country. And we're going to read about a Greek traitor to his country. And because he told some things he wasn't supposed to, many of his fellow soldiers died because he was a traitor and he told military secrets that he should not have told. Here's a word you might not have seen in a while. Oh. Boys and girls, what is that word? Inscription. And an inscription, boys and girls, who knows what script is? Okay, Chandler?
Kind of like an ancient scroll.
Script is writing. And if you're an actor and you're in a play, they're going to give you the script, all the words for the play, and then all the parts. And if you're going to be an actor in the play, you have to learn your parts for the play, don't you? You have to study your script. And inscription is a writing, something inscribed in something. Chandler, honey, go get a tissue and then the hand sanitizer. And let's see if there's something. I think that's really it, boys and girls. Let's go ahead and begin reading this good war story. The boys and the girls are going to enjoy this. We have 52, 50, probably, I think you could read, let's just read through 55. And then when you finish, maybe turn your book over like a pancake like that, open, and I'll know you're through. Okay? Yes, Jordan?
Get my jacket.
Sure. Boys and girls, if you're cold, you can always get your jacket. If you're hot, you can always take it off. I just don't want your articles of clothing at your desk. Because when I walk around the room, I can trip on them. Okay? It's just not safe. But you know if you have a problem with any word. 300 Spartans. Oh, I forgot. That's Thermopylae. So you get to put that word on the board. Thank you. Here it is, boys and girls. Oh, I'm spelling it right. Eylae.
If you're coming, stop.
Persia. Persian Empire. Greece. Persia. Boys and girls, you hear me saying Persia? So if you come to a word that says P-E-R, okay, that's the one I just put on the board. Thermopylae. Lauren Gray, you doing okay? How you doing, Bugler? You got it, Mary? You read some of it? Okay, James? Ma'am. You okay? Yes, ma'am. I like your dress. Messengers. Xavier, I cannot believe you have that. You have not done that. You read right now. I haven't even had a chance to read it. Doing okay, Jordan? Got some questions, Layla? Okay, what does the say? Cool. A clump, right? Boys and girls, a clump is like if you reach down in the kind of muddy dirt at the beach, and you reach in and you get a clump of sand, but it's a little bit drier maybe than that. But a clump of dirt is normally what you take. Okay. You okay, Brock? That fancy shield. Passing by. Huh? Sure, of course. Boys and girls, you never have to ask me for a tissue. If you need a tissue, you can always get up and get one. Yes, a good sounding out. You're welcome. Almost 1,000. advisors. Boys and girls, oftentimes people that have a high up job, like a general, president of a company, they have advisors. They have people who help them make decisions. Advisors give advice. Boys and girls, several children are asking the same word. Remember to pay attention to your early morning board words. Here it is, Leonidas. That is this one, Thermopylae. Thermopylae. Persian. That means they're from Persia. Persians, it means they're from Persia. Remember to flip your book when you finish 55 so I know you're through. Don't put anything in your mouth, sweetie. What you got? What's a scout? I'm not talking about a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout, but a scout was the person that went ahead of the rest of the army, the rest of the soldiers. They had to be very, very brave, and they went to scout or look to see what was happening. And they would go back and tell the general and his advisors and the men what he saw, what was going on. It looks like most people are right about at 54 or right about 55. I think we ought to, don't you, Malachi, go ahead and get started, and that way we will help each other by listening to your oral reading. Now, boys and girls, I hear a little bit of talking that is not helping. Need everybody to have a seat and listen up. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I think the best way is to just get started, and then when we come to a sentence that we're not familiar with the meaning, we can go over that. We have a lot of new words in the story. And so the best way is just to dive right in. All right. The 300 Spartans. That is the title. Start reading for us, please. Chandler, are you the leader? All right. Because Chandler's the leader, we'll start with him. Please keep your finger under every word as Chandler reads. Well, see, how do you let this be pull your sleeves up? Because they're bothering me, and I can be bothering you. And when you go like that, to stretch out, you almost bite Miss Reedy in the nose. So you gotta be careful, right? Of course, I might look better if I got bopped in the nose. You never know, but it wouldn't feel good. Now let's all sit up straight, okay? All right, here we go. Know where we are. Jordan, wait for Jordan, and Walker, fingers up under the title.
300 Spartans. Long ago in mighty kings ruled in the world, the lands of Greece and Persia.
Persia. Everybody say per.
Persia.
Persia.
Persia were at war.
Okay, you missed a real important statement. Brockster, take your arms out unless you're taking that off, and then hang it up. Could you start over again, because this is such an important setup.
300 Spartans. Long ago, when mighty kings ruled in the earth, the lands of Greece and Persia were at war. The king of Persia ruled over a huge land called the Persian Empire. He had land and sea, armies of over 5 million men.
Whoa. How many men did the Persian Empire have an army of? How many men, class?
Over 5
Over 5 million. Okay, go ahead.
Now the king wanted to rule over Greece too.
Okay, so the king of Persia, he had 5 million men, but he still he didn't want to be just the ruler of the Persian Empire. He wanted to take over Greece, another country. Well, he didn't need to do that, did he?
No.
But he wanted to. Let's read a little more and see what happened.
The great king had sent messengers into every Greek city-state asking for a jug of water and a clump of earth.
A jug of water and a clump of earth.
He wanted these things as proof that he would soon own the Greek land and sea. The Greeks sent back their answer, "Never! We shall be free."
Okay, so here you have the great king of Persia, of the whole Persian Empire. And he's saying, I have all of Persia and I have over 5 million men, but I want to get another country. I want to be the king of Greece too. And so he told everybody that they called in Greece their, like we say, Columbia, Lexington, West Columbia, like that. They would call it city-states. Each was a city-state. And he told each one of those, you bring me a jug of water and a clump of earth. And the water stood for what? The sea. And the clump of earth stood for the land. Yeah, and he was saying, you bring it to me because I'm coming to take. I'm going to get your seas and I'm going to get your land because I want more. Read next for us, Brock. So the king.
So the king heard.
Well, let me interrupt you 1 second. So we have the Greeks saying, the Greeks are saying, what did they say? Read it for us, Chandler. Never!
Never! We shall be free.
Never! We shall be free. Everybody say that.
Never! We shall be free.
Now let's find out what the Persian king's going to say about that.
So the king of Persia and his huge army marched toward Greece to fight the Greeks.
Okay? It says his huge army. We know how huge it is. How many men are in that army?
Over 5 million!
Okay, let's let him finish. Boys and girls, let's go. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Brock. The Greeks prepared.
The Greeks prepared to defend their.
I'm sorry, there was talking over here. A little talking. Could you start that over? So the king.
So the king of Persia and his huge army marched toward Greece to fight the Greeks. The Greeks prepared to defend their homeland. They armed themselves with arrows, shields, and spears.
Arrows, shields, and spears. They were ready. Read at the top of the next page, please, Luke. Everybody keep
There
your
was
finger.
only one way for the Persian army to enter Greece. It was by a narrow
Okay, let's stop right there. Great read, too. Here is the narrow pass. Ooh, a little narrow pass between two big old mountains. And what do they call this pass? This little tiny strip. Class? Thermopylae. What? Yeah. All right. Start over at the top.
There was only one way
Four.
for the Persian army to enter Greece. It was by a narrow pass in the mountains, in a place called Thermopylae. The pass was only 50 feet wide.
50 feet wide.
In this small place, the large size of the Persian army would make little difference. Only a handful of Persian soldiers could enter the pass at one time. Here, the Greeks thought they could meet a stop
And stop.
and stop their enemy from entering into Greece.
Okay, so there's only one way to get in, and that's through the narrow pass. And even though he has 5 million soldiers, they can't all rush through at one time, can they? No, they'll have to go just a few at a time. They'll keep coming, but it'll just be a few at a time. So the Greeks are thinking, when the old mean Persian army comes through to try to get to our country, they have to just go like in a line, almost one behind the other. So that way it'll be just, instead of a big mass of them, just a little strip of them at a time. Okay, read next for us. Let's go to, where's Kari? Kari, read for us.
Each Greek city-state had its own army led by general. The most respected general was Leonidas, king of the Greek city-state called Sparta. He was ordered to defend the pass. Leonidas had an army of only 300 Spartans.
Okay, so the Greek soldiers were called Spartans. And how many Spartans were there? Class? 300. How many Persians were there?
5,000.
Over 5 million, so ew, they're in kind of double trouble.
Yep.
Right, okay. Pete, go ahead, Carson. The other generals, do you know where you are, Kari? The other generals.
The other generals promised him that some of their soldiers would join him soon.
Right, okay, so actually Leonidas knows he has 300 Spartans, but there were other generals, and they said, look, we're going to send men. Don't worry that you just have 300. We're going to help you out. We're going to send men too. All right, I meant to say, I think Carson and us, but I meant you. So Carson, now you read for us, sweetheart.
Leonidas and his men marched on toward the pass. On their way, 3,000 Greeks from different city-states joined the little army, but it was still a little army compared to a great number of
Persian.
Persian soldiers.
Okay, let's look at that for a minute. So, a few thousand Greeks from different city-states did come to help. So that was good, because they only had 300. So they needed more. That was great. But how many did the Persians have?
Over 5
million. So a few thousand is really going to make a huge difference. Let's find out a little more. Go ahead and finish that, Carson. Leonidas?
Leonidas and his family they came here and waited to do battle with the
I-R-E-R and U-R say Persian. To do battle with the Persians. All right, boys and girls, it's 11:01. It is past time. That's a good place to stop at the end of this page. And raise your hand if you think this is kind of exciting, even though this is an old story.
Nope.
Yes, I think so too. I think so too. You already finished?
I finished page 56.
Okay.
All right. I was about to start on page 7 when it was time to read it.
Okay.
I only finished that page. I have an author. Me? 50.
Chandler, I don't think you're supposed to get up. Boys and girls, listen to Miss Moody. What am I telling you?
I love you.
Y'all have a great day.
I love you.